All right, y'all. You at Twin City Firewood. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming. Any of y'all been watching know that I get a lot of tree service wood. I rarely go and gather wood unless it's just some really good, easy, accessible stuff. And my buddy Pumpkin brings me quite a bit of wood. And matter of fact, I just got overloaded, to be honest with you. So if this is your first time here, I've had tree service wood all the way from here. It doesn't look all that big, but it was a bunch. All the way to the driveway there. And I loaded my dump trailer up a little over 20 times, if that gives you an idea. And so anyways, this was about 4 years worth of wood being dumped on me. And I worked up a lot of it and sold it, and split it and sold it and all that. But some of it just sat here and rotted. So what I do is I just pick out the stuff I wanted to work up. Almost always it was either the easiest stuff, the straightest stuff, or it was something to do with seasonal. Like I like to work on my oak early on in the splitting year, so it'll be drying, have longer to dry. So I just I've left it like that, but a whole lot of it spoiled. I mean a bunch of it. And I don't usually cry over spilt milk, and I darn sure ain't gonna cry over spoiled wood. But I wanted to make more room, and so in the future I'm going to be a little more choosy about the loads that I get of tree service brought to me. I just don't want it to get piled up on me, and I don't want it to go bad. I don't want to have to clean it up again. And I forgot to mention, I had some right here in this corner too. There was about 5 loads or 6 loads right there. So there's my burn pile. This is the largest by far burn pile I've ever had. It'll burn for a long time. I don't know if you can tell how big it is, but it's a whole bunch. Like I said, I loaded my dump trailer up 20 something times. That's not to mention what was already there. So we're gonna be burning that. Y'all are invited when I burn it. One of the times we had a burn pile that big, my brother and I had a bunch of buddies come out. But one of my buddies and my brother stayed out all night, brought the sun up. We stayed so long. I'm gonna be honest, I probably wouldn't fool with firewood if I didn't have a tractor. I'm blessed to be able to have one. And I run several different kinds of grapples over the years. We trim our own right away at work. I work for a power company. I'm a lineman, and we trim our own trees also. And so we've got a couple different grapples. This by far is my favorite grapple. I've ran the clamshell, I call it. It's the short bottom tine. And this long bottom tine, or root/rake grapple, is my favorite. And I like the dual cylinders too. This has come from MTL Attachments. But my favorite thing about this is how the tines are turned upwards. They're angled up. And you can just drop them down and rake into your pile, and then roll your grapple over and make a really good grab. So this tool has been great to help me clean up. If you don't have a wireless remote for your dump trailer, you gotta get you one. You talking about handy. Best $25, $30 I ever spent. And I still got some cleaning up to do. You can see a bunch of brush here and stuff. I'm gonna take my landscape rake, or some people call it a rock rake, and hook it up and clean this up. It does a dandy job for stuff like that. And I'll show you that right now. This little rake works great for bringing your gravel back, like the sides of your driveway. Maybe if the water's washing it or what have you, you can bring it back in the middle and then spread it out. That's mainly what I use it for. But trails in the woods or just around your property, I really like this little thing. And I looked for a used one for a long time before I found this one. I just hated to buy a new one. I'm just a tightwad like that. But actually, Facebook helped me find this. I looked on Facebook Marketplace for over a year trying to find one of these, and finally, I don't post much on Facebook, but I decided to take a picture of one, what I was looking for, I posted about it, and a buddy of mine I grew up riding horses with, his daddy had one, and he wanted to sell it. And I ended up buying it for, I believe it was $150. And so if y'all have been looking at these or pricing any implements, that's a bargain. That's a steal. So I definitely liked it. He had every other tine removed, and so me and my daughter put all the tines back on. But I really like this little tool, and if any of y'all are out there looking for one, you won't be sorry. It's a really good tool to have for your tractor. I got another load of chips to spread out to try to help keep the weeds down. And this is what I salvaged out of a whole lot of the wood that was laying down on the ground. I wanted to get it off the ground so it wouldn't go bad as quick. It actually surprised me how fast some of this other wood went bad. I mean, it was a couple years, but still, I thought it would last longer. So I got me some pecan, started there. Another thing that I can get at work is telephone poles or utility poles. And so I've made me some log decks out of it. Here's some red oak, quite a bit of white oak, and then here's some ash, and that's fresh. I just got that. And if any of y'all been following along, you'll know that my family and I, in the fall, we'll make these log snowmen. I'll try to put a link to the video here. But these ash logs are worth more to me for log snowmen by far than firewood. So I'll probably end up moving them. They'll become log snowmen. I've already got people asking me for some of them. But you ought to check that video out. It's pretty neat. And then here's a bunch of hickory that turns into red oak, and then hickory again. I've got more hickory than I've ever had. So I just thought I'd show y'all. I'm liking this. It looks better. It looks so much better. And I think this is going to be my new way. And that way, when I am splitting, I have my forks on usually when I'm splitting and moving the totes around. I don't have to slap my grapple on, not like it's a big deal, but if I want to get another log or two, they're right here ready to go. I don't have to pick brush out of it and stuff. So I know some of these guys get tree service wood like Todd and Evan, and they don't have a tractor. And sometimes I don't know if that's not the better way to do it, depending on your operation and your tree service company that you're working with. But one of these days I may end up needing a more productive splitter or something, I don't know, to keep up with the amount of wood that I can get. But right now the easiest thing to do is just push pause on the amount of dumps I'm getting. That's what I think I'm going to do. I'm just going to be a little more picky, a little more choosy about the amount of wood I get and the type of wood I get. And if it's got brush in it or whatever, I just have him dump it right over there by my burn pile. And that way it's less trips to the log table than it is to the burn pile. So I don't know if this is interesting to you, but this is just what I've been up to. It's a good time to do it. It's been kind of dry. It's been super hot. I think it feels like it's 104 right now. That's why I'm staying in the shade. Well, there it is. Nothing fancy, just raked it up and got it pretty level. That rock rake, or landscape rake, it just does such a fine job of getting that loose stuff. And while I was at it, I went ahead and scratched my gravel, and it just does I mean, it didn't take me any time. It just does a fine job of just scratching that gravel up and bringing it back to life. Save you a little money, maybe, if you was thinking about getting another load of gravel. But those are handy little implements, and that way, if the grass grows back here, I can lay my zero turn on my bush hog in it and don't have to worry about a chunk of wood flying out. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for sticking with me. I really appreciate that. Appreciate your valuable time. And I just honored that y'all think enough of us to watch us. On the way out, I'll ease around my burn pile there, because it's bigger than it looks from here, and I'll just kind of give you an idea. Now, some of y'all are going to want to throw rocks at me for some of the wood that's in there. And I ain't going to lie, a few pieces got away from me. When I was pushing it up, I thought, doggone, that's a good piece. And I fished several out of it and brought them back over here to my log deck. I'm not trying to spin you around, but there's still some good pieces in there. But, man, you can't save them all, you know. And I've got enough here to keep me busy for a while. So, thank y'all again. I hope that y'all are blessed, and I hope that you be a blessing. Y'all come back. See you.